Here in the UK, we've had an incredibly dry summer, which means we've been watering things perhaps a lot more than we usually would. So I wanted to make a little quick guide on how often you should water your plants. Now, this isn't definitive by any means. Lots of people have different opinions on how often you should water and such. I just wanted to share how I do it, and I've had a lot of success doing it this way. So this is how often I water my plants in the UK. Now, generally when you get to the peak of summer, you might be thinking you need to water every single day, and honestly that isn't the case. You don't have to water every day. Instead, really what you should be trying to do is maybe water a few times a week, but water really deep. Don't just give them a little sprinkle with the hose. I pretty much never use that. Give them a really deep water with a watering can or something that can do something similar to that. What you really want to do is give them enough water so that they'll actually go searching for it. It'll mean there are stronger roots. The roots will go down searching further for water if you give them a deeper water. So don't be tempted just to water on top of all of them, just spray them with a hose or something like that. You really need to go to the base of the plant, put your watering can right at the base, and give them a very strong water. Plants will generally also show you when they want to be watered. Like this brand new planted one has very wilted leaves at the moment. The top looks all right. That's kind of a better example. They're a bit more upright, but yeah, as you can see, the bottom leaves are very wilted. So this guy is clearly a little bit thirsty, and it's showing me that. One important thing to consider though is the fact that plants can look yellow when they're being overwatered as well as underwatered. So that's not always the best sign. If you see some yellowing on your plant, it could honestly be either. I'd more look for if they're looking a bit wilty, if they're looking a bit droopy, and you know it's been hot. Obviously, if you know it's been raining a lot and they're still looking like that, they might be getting overwatered. So that could be a good way of doing it. Things in pots, however, need watering a lot more often, like especially this Acer tree, which to be fair, I probably need to put in a bigger pot. They need water a lot more often. Just put your fingers in and check to see if the soil is moist underneath. If it feels really dry, it definitely needs a water. You can do that same test with any of your plants in the ground and borders as well. Put your fingers into the soil, and if it feels, you know, nice and wet, moist, which I know some people hate that word, but it's accurate, then you don't need to water them. But if things are feeling pretty dry, then why not give them a water? Another thing is as well, some plants like this salvia honestly don't like being watered that often. And another really good example about this that everyone knows about is lavender. Now this is a tiny little one that I only planted last November or something. So yeah, this one's going to need watering a little bit more often because it's a younger plant. That's something else I want to mention. Younger plants will need watering a lot more than older ones, and I'll get into that in a minute. But things like lavender, like maybe this more established one, really don't want to be watered all the time. Instead, they like it to be dry. So maybe go on the RHS website and look up what your different plants like. They'll give you all that information. Another thing is as well, as I was mentioning, younger plants, really small ones that you've only planted recently, need watering a lot more than more established ones. Plants you've had in your garden for years barely need watering at all, honestly. Again, just check those signs. If you're having a drought or something like that, then keep on top of it. But newer plants are going to need it quite a bit more. And especially things like newer trees. Like I've got this flagpole cherry tree that I just planted last autumn. And this thing needs watering a lot because obviously it's consuming a ton of water and it hasn't properly established itself yet. So we need to get those roots established by giving it a nice deep watering with a watering can frequently, so that those roots will search for water further down and become stronger, and eventually it'll just kind of do its own thing. You know, trees generally, especially ones out in the wild, just live off rainwater and such. So unless there's a severe drought, you shouldn't need to worry about that. So I hope you enjoyed this advice, and I hope it helps you watering your plants. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more videos.